What's up guys, I'm Phoenix Master 1 and welcome back for some more Fire Emblem Heroes. And in this video I'm going to be giving guys a banner review of the Thracia 776 banner in which Peony is also there, and also the weapon refines that we got in this month's update. So the timestamps are in the description, and I want to thank ShailorMercury for this awesome layout. You can follow her on Twitter, the link to it is going to be in the description. And now let us begin. So the first unit I'm going to be going over is Peony, our new free-to-play goddess. So I'm going to be using her a lot in my free-to-play guides, absolutely, because she is insanely good support unit in terms of free-to-play. So she is a dancer, blue mage dancer, and she's got Flower of Joy as her weapon. It gives her +3 resistance, which is fine, it doesn't really matter too much. So it grants +3 attack and +3 speed to any ally in the cardinal direction of her. So she can support from very far away. The only condition is that you need to be in the cardinal direction of her to get that buff. So that is really good, and it's going to be helping me a lot in my free-to-play guides. And her assist skill is Gentle Dream. So this is a dance skill, but it does have more effects on it. So it grants user another action, and as I said, and after dancing she grants +3 to all of the stats of the target ally and also the allies who are in the cardinal direction of the unit and the target who she sung to or danced to. And this is gonna be visible buff, and it also grants them another effect where they can move to a space adjacent to any ally within 2 spaces. So it's basically gonna be amazing for your movement. And the buffs which she's gonna be giving away are gonna be visible buffs. It's not gonna be in combat buffs. So this does have synergy with something like Blade Tomes and any kind of skill which does take the visible stats into consideration. But still, you know, she's not able to pump up the stats as much as Legendary Azura can, and also just increasing the movement of one ally. Both of them have their utility. Peony in general is going to be good for support and for keeping your units together because she can provide that movement utility. So in Aether Raid's defense, if you do use her, it's going to be helpful to keep your team together. But still, like in Aether Raid's defense, someone like Legendary Azura is still a much bigger threat because she can provide that +1 movement. And she can buff up all stats of the allies if they have got something like a +6 or +7 visible buff. So Peony in general is a good unit for movement utility, but Legendary Azura is just a really good unit to be paired up with a nuke. That's her specific role, and this is Peony's specific role. So I'm really excited to use her in my free-to-play guides. Honestly, she's going to be really helpful. She comes with blue dual flying just like Legendary Azura, and she's got this because the new game mode, Mjolnir Strikes, does have the scoring similar to Arena, so that's why the dual skill is going to be helping her there because she's a blue mage dancer. She's got aerobatics just like Legendary Azura, and instead of attack tactic, here Peony decides to have Fortify Resistance 4. So this is once again going to be useful for free to play guides because Legendary Ag doesn't have the greatest resistance, and he would definitely appreciate this. And she is a light mythic hero. She provides you with +4 speed and +5 HP. And the way I see it is that if you want to use Peony in Aether Raids, then it works much better if you're using like a hit and run strat or if you're using Gale Force strats, because if you have a super tank strategy, then air is probably much better, like double airs, because you cannot let go of that bulk. Obviously, the dance utility is incredibly powerful in Aether Raids, and it's going to be helping you with the extra action which your ally can take. But mostly for the super tanks, you just park them in a good spot. You let them take on the onslaught of the enemies and they do their job. But as I said, you know, if you're using something like a Gale Force team or a hit and run strat, then having another dancer who's a mythic hero is going to be really helpful. For Vantage strategies, I would say that air is a bit better because you can have the extra resistance. So that just gives you an extra safety so that your Vantage unit can survive an attack, enter into the Vantage range, so that could be useful. Speed is not really the most useful stat compared to the bulk, which some offensive mythic heroes can give in form of defense and resistance, and obviously attack as well, which is really good for Vantage sweepers. Speed boost which she provides is going to be useful for Gale Force strategies, obviously, and we'll have to see how she can perform in Mjolnir Strikes. We still have to get the shield phase. We are right now in the brace phase, so that is Peony. Definitely pretty excited to get her as a free unit. The next unit we have on the banner is Mareeta. So it's really funny to me that Intelligent Systems doesn't have a lot of confidence in Thracia 776. So Peony is along with these Thracia units on this new banner. I'm not really against that, but still I just find it funny. So she has got Mareeta's sword. it gives her -1 special cooldown, and if she's not adjacent to an ally, then she gets +4 to all of her stats, and she also has null follow-up built into this weapon. So it has got really good synergy with her attack speed solo skill, and Mareeta is basically the fastest unit in the game with the highest base speed at 42. She also has a super boon in speed, so she can reach 46 speed at neutral, which is pretty insane. So Fallen Mareeta had the highest base speed before this. She had 41, and now normal Mareeta, when she's back into her senses, has got 1 point higher base speed. She also has 35 attack, which is really good, and pretty decent defense, and resistance is definitely on the lower side, but she definitely can take some hits because of her slot B skill, and this is a new line of skill that we have got. So it is Close Call 3, and if she has got more speed than the foe, then it reduces the damage from the attacks during the combat, and also from area and effect specials, you know, something like Ophelia, who always runs that. And the maximum damage reduction which you could get with this skill is 40%. So you need to have 10 extra speed than your foe in order to have the max damage reduction from this skill. And Mareeta, like for her, it's not going to be all that hard because she's already so fast. She's the fastest unit in the game, so she can definitely be deceptively bulky because of the skill, and obviously it does have the hit and run built into it. So if you initiate the combat, then you can move 1 space back. That's his hit and run skill. It's just a much better hit and run in the sense that it works really well for units who have got more speed. Usually when you are having a tank, you let go of the speed in order to get more bulk. But for some tanks and for some units who already have high speed, this skill is going to be really good because you have the damage reduction, you have more bulk, and you can also take less damage from area and effect specials. The problem is that this is a slot B skill, so it's highly competitive with stuff like Null Counter Disrupt, with Vantage, with Desperation, with Null Follow-Up. Not really in the case of Mareeta, she has Null Follow-Up built into her sword, but for other units, if you do decide to fodder her off. And we still have to see if this is infantry exclusive or not. I don't think this is gonna be infantry exclusive. I think this is just gonna be infantry and like flying units, I think. I don't think armor units or cavalry units are gonna be getting this, but still it's just a speculation on my part. So yeah, that's Close Call. It's gonna be incredibly useful skill for some of the units, some of the tanks which do have good speed, who can invest into speed, who can stack up their speed and increase it. So for them, this is going to be a godsend skill. But once again, as I said, it does face the competition from the other skills. And Rouse Attack Defense is her slotsy skill, does have really good synergy with her weapon and also attack speed solo. She just wants to be alone. She does have 170 to BST, and Mareeta is just one of the premium sword units that we see from time to time in FEH. You know, they always release some kind of infantry sword units who's really good, then we get another one, then we get another one just better than the last one, and that just happens. That's the life cycle of FEH. So the next unit we have is Eyvel. She is gonna be getting demoted, obviously. She looks like a really obvious demote. So she's got Guard Sword Plus. As the name suggests, it does have Guard built into it. So it's kind of like the sword version of Hako Lantern. And she's got Ignis, Attack Defense Form, and Chill Attack. So if she gets demoted, then she's going to be having Chill Attack 3 at 4-star rarity and Attack Defense Form at 5-star rarity. Attack Defense Form is not really the worst skill because it's a good enemy phase skill. I'm not really a big fan of Attack Speed Form because it's harder to do that kind of stuff and have the proper movement and placement in player phase. But in the enemy phase, this kind of skill can work out. So it's going to be a good option if she does get demoted. And looking at her stats, she's basically like a red echidna, you could say. She's really tanky actually, incredibly tanky at base 38 defense. But the reason why I said she's like the red echidna is because she's the kind of unit who's really versatile. She can be built offensively and she can also be built defensively. And certainly in the case of defense, she's got same defense as Lucas. Doesn't have as much HP as Lucas, of course, but still, she's got super boon in defense, super boon in resistance. So depending on which defensive stat you want to have more of, you could opt for that super boon if she does get demoted. Obviously for ether rates, resistant super boon is going to be really good, but generally red super tanks are not really going to be all that good in ether rates offense because of the presence of stuff like Reinhardt, Ophelia. You know, those kinds of units are blue and they are extremely powerful. So that's why you don't really see too many red super tanks, and that's why most of the time people opt for either blue super tanks or green super tanks. And ever since the release of Thracia, Blue super tanks, I don't really see too many of them, and not a lot of people have been building up because Thracia is a defensive mythic hero, and that's why green is basically the better color out of red, blue, and green when it comes to super tanking. And obviously colorless is the best one because you don't really have any kind of weapon strangle disadvantage. So that's Eyvel. I think she's gonna be getting demoted. If she does get demoted, then she's gonna be a good candidate for a merge project. Because she's got 172 BST, after the first merge, she will be able to hit 175 BST. So she's gonna be really useful in Arena as well if you do decide to pursue her as a merge project. Overall, really happy with Eyvel, and I'm really happy that she's gonna be getting demoted. The next unit is Osain, and he has got his legendary axe Wooj, as Faye said. I'm pretty sure that's what she said, but I'm sure we're gonna be having a lot of memes about that. And this weapon gives him -1 special cooldown, and it does have a conditional distant counter effect. So if he's above half health, then he gets distant counter. So that's really good, and it's in your best interest to keep him healthy. And he also comes with a new tier 4 skill, which is Mirror Stance 3. It gives you +6 resistance and attack in the enemy phase, and it also has the guard effect built into it, like most of the tier 4 stance skills. So it's not really that big of a surprise. He does have Noontime, which is, good for keeping him healthy. He also comes with Wrath and even Attack Wave. He can be used as a really good tank actually because of the -1 cooldown if you do decide to run a breath skill on his slot A, because you could run Soul as a special, and if you are running a breath skill, then you can instantly retaliate back with Soul and recover some HP and be healthy. So that could be good for super tank and ether raids. If you do get one copy of him, I guess you could try it out when he's a bonus unit, because having -1 special cooldown makes it so that Soul becomes a 2-turn cooldown special, and green is a pretty good super tank color, as I said before, and he does have good stats for that. 27 resistance is workable with double air, and 33 defense is also pretty good. He does have 36 speed and 35 attack. Now we have got some axe units who are more offensive than him, but he's mainly gonna be acting as an enemy phase unit, and he does have decent speed actually. He's gonna be a 5-star logged unit, of course. And the last unit from this banner is Tanya. So she got completely yeeted out of the banner in the Fae channel. She's just gonna be added into 3-star, 4-star pool. She's got Shining Bow, which is not really all that good. Ardent Sacrifice, Pass, Spur, Speed, Resistance. Yeah, she's just not very good as a fodder, unfortunately. Shining Bow is the only unique thing that she can provide you, unfortunately. And in terms of stats, she's just a better Summer Gaius because she's got more HP and more defense, so she's just a bit more bulky. But if you want to build up an archer from 3-star, 4-star pool, you just have a lot of great options. You've got Klein, you've got Gordon now. You also have Norn, who has been demoted. So Norn just has more BST than Tanya and just has better stat spread as well. So yeah, Tanya unfortunately is not going to be that impressive of a unit, and is probably going to be one of the units which a lot of people forget, unfortunately, because of her underwhelming fodder potential and also not very impressive stat line. But like I said, she's just like a much better Summer Gaius, and that's thanks to the increased BST, of course. And now we move on to the Grandeur Battle unit. We're going to be getting this Grandeur Battle on 11th, I believe, this month, on the Wednesday. So this is Kempf. I don't know if American people are going to be able to get his memes, but I'm not going to be going over those because as it is, a lot of people are probably not going to be getting that, and a lot of people probably didn't get that either. So he's a Sword Cavalier. He has got Venom Edge as his weapon. It's a 16-mind weapon. It does give him +3 resistance, and after the combat, and if he attacks, then he deals 10 damage to target and also foes within 2 spaces, and also inflicts them with the Flash or the Candlelight status, where they will not be able to counterattack through their next action. So definitely a pretty interesting weapon. When you look at his stat spread and his free-to-play skills, they're not really all that impressive, but at least this weapon is a bit unique and makes him stand out. So he could be a cool unit in the sense that he could have double Savage Blow, he could have Vantage, and he could have this. And if you just like invest heavily into him, then he can function as a distant counter Vantage unit because of this weapon. But he's gonna get absolutely smoked by Ophelias, Hardy bearing Ophelias, that is. So you have to keep that in mind. You could also run like a wind sweep set on him, but unfortunately he doesn't really have the speed for it. He's got base 33 speed, which likely means that you will have to run like a double darting blow build, in which case he's not going to be having very high attack. And if you're going to be running a Vantage build, then you know, as it is, he doesn't have very high attack for like a Vantage Sweeper, and you will have to rely on the passive damage that you get from his weapon. But once again, Hardy Bearing units are going to be crunching him. Also, not to mention healing towers are going to be really annoying for him if you do decide to use him like that in Ether Raids. And if you're using him outside of that as a Vantage unit, he could survive. You know, his bulk isn't exactly too bad or too good. It's definitely workable. So this weapon is definitely pretty interesting. Does make him quite unique. He has got Aegis as a special, Fortress Resistance. God, these guys are really outdated as to what skills they should give to free-to-play units. Just give him like Fortress Defense Res or something. I don't know. Why give the skill which is already power crept? And he has got Savage Blow 3, which is gonna be 5-star logged. So yeah, I guess if you wanted Fortress Resistance 3, this is the chance to get that from a 4-star Kempf. So yeah, interesting unit with interesting weapon. Not really gonna be standing out too much with his stat spread or his base kit, but at least his weapon helps him a bit with that. You know, having Pain Plus and Flash, both statuses in a single weapon is good, but the problem with him is that he's a melee range unit. This kind of effect would work much better on a range unit, but still it's something, so that's definitely going to be helping him stand out. And now we move on to the weapon refines. So the first weapon refine is of Mia. Mia is pretty much gonna be better than Carla because of the true damage that she can get. She does have less attack than Carla, but it doesn't really matter because Resolute Blade does give her +3 attack, and the weapon refine of it does give her true damage, kind of like Carla's weapon. But the thing is that she's got the Vodao effect built into her weapon as well. Carla, on the other hand, has got -1 special cooldown. So if you're looking for like true damage, which is really powerful in many cases, Mia is going to be much better for just having that. You can also run Wrath, you could also run Flashing Blade 4, just have a lot of true damage going on. So Mia definitely got a pretty good weapon refine, but unfortunately she is going to be a 5-star logged unit, so a lot of people might not have her. But yeah, it's good to see that she has improved quite a bit with this weapon refine. They both have really similar stat spreads, also have the same speed, so the main difference is going to be between their weapon, which one you would like to have. And Arthur also got a weapon refine. It's a nice essay right there. So if he has got a bonus from a skill like Rally or Hone, he gets +3 to all of his stats during the combat, and if there's any kind of penalty present on him, then he gets +5 during the combat. So when you're going to be buffing up a unit, they're likely going to be target of chill skills of these shrine structures. So it's not really very difficult to activate his weapon refine condition. But the thing is that, unlike Idun and unlike Grania, he doesn't have a way to neutralize these set penalties. He can kinda like absorb them and like offset them in a sense with the +5 to all of his stats, which he's able to get. In the best case scenario, when there are no debuffs going on, he could not be at full HP and get this buff during the combat and also activate his primary skill to just get a lot of stats. So it is a pretty good weapon refine, and it's definitely going to be helping him with his viability. And the next two weapon refines we have is of Clive and Mathilda. So both of their weapon refines are same, where if they're within 2 spaces of their support partner, they give +3 to all of the stats to themselves and to that ally during the combat. So it is just promoting you to use the ally support mechanic basically. And this is really cute because you could use Mathilda and Clive together, and they could like give each other a lot of stats. Now obviously this doesn't mean that you have to use both of them, because using 2 Lance Cavaliers is not going to be good for the color coverage. So you know, you could have Clive and Sonia for the color coverage, which is going to be making Mathilda mad, or you could have Alm and Mathilda, which is going to be making Clive mad. So you know, you could try to have different ally supports to cover the matchups. Clive's primary effect is giving him effective damage against armored foes, and Mathilda's primary effect is going to be giving her -1 special cooldown. I wish they made the use of the high resistance, which Mathilda has got, in some kind of way. I mean, this weapon refine is good with a support partner, but the stats which she's going to be getting are in combat buffs, so it really doesn't help with deploying and stuff like that. So it doesn't really help with deploying or sabotage skills. It is to be specifically used with ally support units, kind of like Male Corrin, but Male Corrin is a better support unit because he gives +4 in combat buff to all of these stats, and with Yarrow he's able to get extra stats, and he's just able to function as a better chill absorber for your tank or for the unit that he's supporting in that sense. But yeah, this can definitely be worked out. It's a pretty cute weapon refine actually for Clive and Mathilda, because they are a couple and they do marry at the end of Shadows of Valentia, so that is pretty amazing. So overall I would say that Mia's weapon refine is the best one out of this batch, and then after that Arthur's, and then Clive and Mathilda, because they are at the same position actually. But Clive's is a bit better because of having effective damage against armored units. So that is basically going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, then please be sure to leave a like. It is going to be helping me tremendously, and if you haven't already, then make sure to subscribe for more Fire Emblem Heroes content and also Three Houses content. I'm doing Black Eagle's route right now, and please be sure to hit the notification bell and click on all so that you can always get the updates to my videos whenever I upload. Because YouTube sub boxes are about as functional as the monetization status of my video, if I did say Kempf's signature insult in this video. But with that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.